We are any day now, and we're live. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream with your boy Pollux the Wise. I hope you guys are doing absolutely frogging splendid, taking care of yourselves, and as always, staying safe. And because I'm unemployed and I have absolutely nothing better else to do, I decided I was going to bring in a nerd, a specialist, a fellow Froge, to help us with dissecting the Kingdom Rush Vengeance DLC that is going to be upcoming literally tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing yours truly, Trevor from The Real Morgan. Say what's up.
Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Hope you're staying dangerous as always. No, I'm just kidding. I was just trying to contradict everything you said. Yeah, let's get this puppy rolling. We're gonna talk about the DLC coming out tomorrow. I'm sure we're gonna be up all night playing it the next day, all that good stuff. Certainly gonna be a productive day at work the next day for both of us, or school for Verduk and all these people studying and doing finals and stuff. Don't worry about that. We're older than that. We're not in school anyway, so let's just play video games because why not?
Exactly, yeah. Who needs school, or am I right? It's a silly thing to indulge your time in. But in any case, yeah, we're going to be going through the trailer video to summarize things up, see what we can garner just from like playing it on very slow speed. Well, I guess what we'll do is probably watch it through once at normal speed just to get the brief overall picture. And then what we'll do is probably watch it again at a slower speed to see what else we can pick up on, any little hidden details. Because I already know there were some things I caught just from like frame by frame, different things that were going on there. Wait, hold on, I F11 the wrong screen. Okay, here we go. That's the correct screen. Let's go ahead and let's start this. Hopefully my audio picks this up, like the music and everything. Here we go. So we've got a new exclusive campaign coming soon. We'll disembark on Hammerhold. Playing 5 new stages.
Man, these cuts are fast.
Yeah, new hero Misfit. I think that's how you pronounce his name. New tower,
Yeah.
Samuel Apollo. We got this guy just drumming away on his elephant, which I think is awesome, by the way.
There's gonna be a lot of bosses. It's gonna be like a boss per level almost.
I
That's pretty
guess
cool.
so. We got Mirage, we got Alric, we got Malik, Hammer Fury. Okay.
Kozi's favorite.
Yes, exactly. Now I'm gonna go ahead and actually mute this video for now, and we'll go ahead and set the playback speed to a quarter of what it was originally, and just kind of start it from the beginning again. Now,
Can you start at negative infinity, actually? I want to see what that looks like. I just want to be absorbed into a black hole. That's how slow I want it to go.
I mean,
Does that
honestly,
sound good?
if I could, yeah, I mean, there are custom playback speeds. I don't think that's an option, though. The minimum it lets me go is a quarter of the normal speed. So, you know, it is what it is. Coolium, yo, welcome to the stream. Thank you. Ribbit, ribbit. But on a more serious note, so just right off the bat, before we play this back in slow motion, or rather, actually, let's multitask. We'll talk about this as this is playing back in slow motion. So, like, clearly here we can see there's a alien ship next to what looks to be like a giant pyramid with purple glowing runes on top of it. I believe this is going to be a reference to, I think later on in the trailer, Shatra, I believe, makes an appearance here. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I also was reading, somebody mentioned that the crystals and the aliens showing up, and all this is just speculation. We'll hopefully find out, tomorrow
Right.
as they push the story forward. Which is honestly the part I'm most excited about for this, because I like how everything tied in with Vengeance and
Yeah.
Legends of Kingdom Rush, and like where the story's going with everyone uniting and fighting aliens and how cool that is. And somebody pointed out that what is it? The Tear of Eleni or something is harnessed by the aliens, right? That's how Frontiers ended. Am
Yeah,
I going
sort
off
of.
on a tangent? Or
No, I
I think somebody pointed out, and I think it's legit. It sounds legit that like aliens have that crystal, and maybe it's powering a lot of their stuff. And that sounds
right.
cool. So I'm excited about that possibility. That might just be like a wild bottom of the iceberg type of thing going on there. But if I was
Absolutely.
Ironhide, I'd be having something like that happen.
Yeah, I definitely think if there was a way they could incorporate the Tear of Alinni into this somehow. I mean, shoot, it even looks like on top of this flying saucer here, this little UFO looking thing, it looks like there's like a little miniature red Tear of Alinni there. Like the corrupted version after the end of Origins was there, which I believe was also the same
Right.
color as the one that Vesnan used on his staff. I would just also like to point out this is hilarious. The fact that Auric is at the forefront of this supposed army of Hammerhold when it's Malik who's actually the commander of the Hammerhold forces. So I just thought that's funny that
Yeah,
when they
what happened there?
I just
Doesn't that kind of seem backwards?
but I think most people
I
are
don't know
more
much of the lore.
right. I do think more people are familiar with Auric than they are with any, I mean, with Malik Hammer Fury, no offense to him. I mean, obviously he's made multiple appearances throughout the Kingdom Rush franchise. But yeah. Bossy, welcome to the stream saying, I thought that green hand was frog people. What? I don't know what you're referring to, but okay. But in any case,
The
so
green
what?
hand that grabs the crystal at the end of Frontiers.
Oh yeah, you know what? That
That's
would
what
be
he's
cool.
referring to.
It
I
would
don't
make
think it's a
sense.
frog hand. I think it looks clearly alien. So,
Correct. I do agree with that.
and I know
Although,
everything. Just kidding.
oh my gosh, yeah, yeah, guys, why are we even analyzing this? We're just gonna ask Trevor everything. He already knows. Bro already knows. He's got the insider info. So
I'm a Smurf, guys. I am Ironhide. I started the company. That's my real legal name, and yeah, and I know everything.
so in this next frame here, we can clearly see that we are in the frontiers portion of the map now. So before, the map did not move whatsoever. I'm wondering if because they're adding this new DLC in, if once you purchase it, it reworks the map. So I wonder if we can see like a before and after. So somebody who has the DLC versus somebody who does not. What is the map difference going to look like for you? Will it, once you update the game, even display the option like that region of the map for you if you don't have the DLC? That is something that I would personally be curious about. And as we can see here, for disembarking on Hammerhold, it looks like there's a lot more attention to detail inside of Hammerhold itself. There's like these little villages throughout the region. The first one of which I believe is right on the beaches. You can see a little archer tower there to kind of represent their shoreline defenses, however weak those may be. There's the Sape Oasis, I'm sure, which is going to be one of the stages that's there. I would be surprised if it wasn't. And then as far as Hammerhold itself is concerned, you've got like this little cathedral looking area. It's kind of like this, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation on this, but I think it's like the Sophia Hagia, something like that. But there's like a bunch of little buildings in here as well, and these grand looking entrances which have been upgraded since the last appearance of Hammerhold. So, you have anything to comment on that, Trevor? As far as like all
It
this?
looks pretty. I like the pyramids there, kind of toward the middle, right?
Yeah, the
I only
pyramids are cool.
see what? Oh,
I
okay, yeah. There's 5 levels. It's hard to
yes,
see the one at the bottom.
yes, it is hard to see the one at the bottom, but there are 5 levels, starting with what's right there on the beach. And here's an example of one of the levels right here. We can see there's like this coastal area here. This could be one of the coastal levels. I don't know, or it could be the Sape Oasis. Although that wouldn't make sense. This has to be like the first level, I imagine, because of all the water. Well, maybe
Yeah, they just
I
got
don't
there
know.
on the boat. And, I don't know.
Oh. Or maybe they just have
I
like
would
a
think they
small level
arrived on
for
the
it.
ship.
See, this is a beach level. This I think would be like the first
Hmm.
level, just because of all the sand that's there.
Hmm.
Bossy saying, I thought
Did they say?
Ironhide's. Oh, sorry. Bossy is saying in the chat, I thought Ironhide staff said that the Citra crystal is different from the one in Lineria. So I think we will see the aliens maybe in Kingdom Rush 5 or maybe another Legends of Kingdom Rush game. Huh.
Hmm.
Interesting. Davis, Abduella, welcome to the stream. The Cobalt in the Attic, welcome to the stream. Yes, DLC is dropping tomorrow, ladies and gents. We don't know what time specifically, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to sleep. I got my Mountain Dew ready, man. I'm going to be
Sleep
going
is
through
for the
all of
weak.
it. Oh, gosh. For the Malik fight, do you think he will have Paragon stats? Paragon level stats? I would imagine.
I
Well,
hope he has dual resistances
yeah,
or
for
at least
real.
like a ton of HP. Because bosses are
Honestly,
usually not too hard in any of these games, almost ever.
well, I think Frontiers actually had some rather annoying bosses. You've got Vasile, You've got Umbra, who I guess is kind of RNG dependent as far as whether or not he's difficult. It is if you're doing challenges, but with
He's the
mods,
hardest for me, that's for sure. But
oh
that's because I
yeah,
don't understand the tower blowing up stuff that happens.
yeah, no, that's just straight up cancer. It completely invalidates any strategy you put together.
Mhm.
So I can see here there are enemies that are walking in this frame down the what looks to be like the top middle of the map towards the left in the exit. I also see some guys on what looks to be like camelback. They're riding camels, and these guys in the top right corner are holding some type of bird on their arm. I don't know if you can notice that or not. I don't know if it's a
Hmm.
falcon, a eagle, something like that. So
Hopefully it does 1 damage every second.
yes, just like the crow,
That'd be
you
powerful.
gotta make it you gotta make it as powerful as the Shadow Archer crow. Um, and then here we go. Play through 5 new stages. You've got the hero Isfet, the new mummy warlock, right next to what looks to be like this little genie shop over here. I think this is the arena level where I don't know if we fight Malachhammer Fury here or if this is a new. This is an entirely separate level or not. Because okay, yeah, it is because this is the arena. Never mind. I'm stupid. Um, Interesting tower spot placements. It definitely looks like this is a level that's going to encourage multi-lane micro with our barracks and hero, which I like.
Hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, it makes it harder. I like
Yes.
that.
And it makes it more difficult to use artillery based on, like the AI for like where towers target when there's multiple lanes is very difficult to predict. Now we've got the new hero. How would you pronounce this? Would you say Isfet? Or you
Yeah,
think
it's fat.
or Ifet, or maybe the S is silent. Maybe it's Ifet. I don't know.
I don't know. In Uruguay, they say things differently.
That is true. That is true. But yeah, I definitely like the design of this hero. It looks like he's summoning in these meteorites. I don't know if they deal like damage over time or set the enemy on fire. Which, you know what? Okay. I know they are not going to do this tomorrow, but I do wish for one thing. Any tower that has any kind of ability involving fire, if it hits an enemy, should have at least a visual animation of that enemy, quote unquote, being set on fire. Like when enemies walk through
Mhm.
the fire on the ground from the Dwarven Frontiers. That to me just makes sense from a visual perspective. Ivan, welcome
Yeah.
to the stream asking who is our guest. This is Trevor from the duo known as The Real Morgan, consisting of Morgan and Trevor. Morgan doesn't make as much of an appearance, unfortunately, just because of life stuff.
Let's face it, it's just Trevor. It's been just Trevor
Yeah,
for about a year and a half.
correct. So, I mean, oops,
Rest in peace, Morgan.
yes, the real Trevor. Also, on this frame, you can see here there's these what look to be like temple priests, kind of with a similar hairstyle to Bruxa. What are your thoughts on that? You
Um,
think there's any lore
yeah,
connected
that
there?
is
Like
that is interesting.
Maybe Bruxa could have originally been one of these temple priests, and she decided that she was dissatisfied with how they were doing things in Frontiers, and she wasn't content with just staying at the temple with the rest of the priestesses. She decides to go out on an adventure and help the heroes recover the.
I mean, we get her on the first or second Crimson Valley or whatever that jungle stage name is, that level that I hate in Kingdom Hearts Frontiers. That's by far the worst level in the entire game, I'd say. She shows up there, so maybe she was. Plus, she's way too OP. Like she's like
Oh yeah,
more valuable than having an entire Archmage tower. But she's in the jungle, so maybe she kind of meandered off over there to keep the
absolutely.
spiders at bay.
So here we can see a new tower, the Sandworm Hollow, and as this enemy walks through, it looks like I'm gonna back it up here for a second, but it does look like he is taking damage over time. I'm not sure how much of that is actually coming from the arrows of the Shadow Archer. It looks to be like level 3, and how much of it is actually coming from the Sandworm Tower itself. If it's just meant to like deal a little bit of tick damage and slow him down over time. I've seen people voice concerns that they think this is going to be too similar to the Ignis altar. I don't know if you agree with that, Trevor, or not, but personally, I do
Yeah,
think it's a
it looks a lot like it. It has an insta kill that seems to be pretty obvious. I don't know if it's AoE, but then it's shooting out. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
insta kill, I think. And then the spiky pit thing. I don't know. I think this tower could be either way. Like just off the bat, it looks like it's so much like Ignis Alter, but with an insta kill, but without blocking, but then they're slowing and stuff. So it's kind of like that support tower area. I don't know. I don't really have high hopes for it being good. Certainly like doing like a challenge run or something with just that, or just at the new hero, which that would be fun to do. I might consider that. Um, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a little bit redundant though. It doesn't look overpowered to me. It looks like it's kind of just like here's a little
Well,
bit it's
I mean,
AOE and slowing. Here's
here's
a
the thing.
randomly targeted, insta kill.
Right. Well, and it does look though like it affects multiple enemies on the ground. Obviously, having like another group area insta kill is not something that I'll be honest. Like, I don't know how they could rework this tower to make it more fun or different enough to distinguish it from the Ignis Altar. Something that I was thinking about, and I don't know how many of you guys play Plants vs. Zombies 2, but I was recently actually just beta testing a mod for a friend of mine, and one of the plants there that was kind of similar to like the rockweed or spikeweed. I forget what the heck of the name of the plant was, but basically what it would do is that if a zombie stepped on it, it would just trap the zombie there and slowly deal tick damage to it over time. What I think would be kind of cool as a way to rework this tower if it ends up either being too redundant or similar to the Ignis Altar is have it have like this ability to swallow multiple enemies like so with this animation. Hold on, I'll go back here and let you guys see it real quick. So we can see here the sandworm kind of retreats underground as these guys they look like they're throwing daggers at the hero, and then it comes up and eats them. What I think would be cool
That's
is
cool.
instead of it having being another group AoE insta kill, have it come up and eat them and retreat to its burrow, but then consume the enemy slowly over time. So, it has to take time to digest what it's eaten, like the chomper from PvZ1, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. That was the only Plants vs Zombies that I played.
Okay, interesting. Well, I thought you played PvZ Heroes at one point. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, but it's just so much different. It's not tower defense.
That's true. So we've got this
I'm
little guy here.
quite into PvC heroes. I play it at least an hour every day for
Yeah,
years.
exactly. So see here, we can see this little dude who's riding this ivory tusked elephant. He looks like he's wearing battle armor, or at least some kind of head protection for the elephant, which I think is super cool.
Battle Elephant Online? You mean like that?
Oh my gosh, yes. Imagine if this thing were to like fire its tusks as actual projectiles, or just have like a charge attack. That would be so cool. So here we go. I found Aladdin's cousins, who are riding their magic carpets. And no, let me go back here for a second here. Okay, so it looks like they definitely throw magic bolts. There's like a puff of smoke as this guy on the ground is dying.
I like that. Like a magic flying enemy can't be blocked, and then
Just very
yeah, so you're
anti
gonna have to use
barracks.
like archers and stuff for them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if they don't have magic resistance, we're rioting. Now, there's these custom towers here that look like they're part of Linear, or I should say, excuse me, Hammerhold's forces. So there's like this barracks looking tower here and an archer to the left. What's your thoughts on that? What do you think of these? Do they look cool? Do you think they should be there? Shouldn't be there?
What is that? Is that a bonus tower? Is that
I
what am I
I'll
looking
be
at?
honest, I don't know. I don't know if these are on our side or not. I think it would be super cool if the enemy had the ability to spawn in their own barracks troops as like a means of distracting nearby towers to focus them instead of
Hmm.
other enemy troops in the wave. And maybe having like these anti-archers, so like if you micro your hero around the battlefield, they'll just kind of like slowly get sniped over time if you're not careful with how you micro them. I think that would be kind of cool. Also, there's no way these camels move that fast. That's insane. That's just ridiculous. These guys look like the assassins.
Yeah, those have got to be them.
And here, you can see here, there's like a little other barracks tower in the top right corner of this frame. Doesn't look quite as similar as the previous tower back here on this frame. But
Hmm.
if anything, yeah, it's like upgraded. This looks like a level 2 barracks from like Hammerhold. Here we see a genie. And also it looks like I'm seeing a sandcastle here with where it looks like it would be a tower spot. So I
Maybe the
wonder.
genies can disable your towers, just
Yeah.
like that genie boss in KRF.
I wonder. What if? What if there was a sandstorm mechanic where every so often a sandstorm would blow through and basically turn your tower into a sandcastle, and you have to like click it to free it or
Oh
like
boy,
shovel. What were you saying? Sorry.
I like it. All I said was, "Oh boy," that would sound
Oh
cool.
boy. Oh boy. And here we go. We have Mr. Genie, Aladdin's friend, and he can just what is that? Let me go back and take a look here. Is that a
Ooh,
ram or a goat? What is that? It looks like a ram.
did he insta kill an enemy and turn them into that? Like
No, no, that's our
what's
hero
going on
right
here?
here. So you can see
Oh, that's
Isfet.
our. Oh, okay.
So I guess uh, an insta
Hmm.
kill for our hero. I like that. I think it encourages you to micro for sure.
Okay, and then these other towers that we have no idea what they do yet. They're being targeted right now by what? Oh,
Correct.
maybe this is like the Jokul or whatever it's called fight in Kingdom Rush Vengeance where you fight the giant ice dragon queen
Right.
and you use a cannon. Maybe that our ship in that frame back there that has the
Right.
targets on the enemy towers, maybe you blow them up at some point.
I think so. I
That
wonder if
totally
it's like
looks like that.
randomly chosen or if you have to select which one gets blown
There's a
up.
cannon icon on the ship.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, so you probably
That's
click
cool.
the cannon and it's probably going to target a random tower
Hmm.
and blow it up.
And then you get to use those spots. See, this is
Yes.
cool. If you get to blow up their stuff like halfway during the level or something like
Yeah.
that, and then use those spots, like it's like you're literally gaining ground.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
This level actually might be kind of cancerous depending on the wave composition. I think this might be one of the more difficult
Yeah,
levels,
the tower spots look insane. And then
but in a good
look at the
way.
towers that they're using. They're using
Freaking Lord
orc
Zeppelin.
orc shaman. It's just like, oh man,
You know
good
what?
luck there. They must have been running a challenge run.
You know what? I'll give respect where respect's due. They like their orcs, okay? Somebody at Ironhide has an affinity for using orc towers. But on a more serious note,
Hmm.
you know what? Octarina, I think she's the community manager there at Ironhide Games Studios. I remember when like I would watch their live streams and I would basically be like dog shitting all over their gameplay, just like backseat gaming from the live stream chats, try to give like some
Yeah.
suggestions and stuff. But Octarina is probably actually the best of the employees there at Ironhide who've tried challenges on live streams there. She's improved quite a bit. I think that's also because I'm sure like enough people were probably just embarrassed at watching the gameplay. Like, oh my god, they don't even know how to play
Yeah, it
their
was
own
hard because
game.
like during some of the streams, yeah, it looked like they were playing it for the first time, and it's like, okay, like how did that happen?
Yeah. Bossy saying, I thought the Black Priestesses looked like Deirdre, a priestess hero. Huh. Interesting. Interesting theory. I'm thinking,
I
does she
had a
have a
friend
magic
with
assistant?
that name, and it was pronounced Deirdre.
Deirdre.
Um,
Maybe that is how it's
yeah,
supposed to be
Deirdre.
pronounced. Deirdre. Now,
Yeah, I don't know.
just to kind of hover over on this frame for a minute, you can see here that Shatra is on top of this temple, and he is summoning in what looks to be like some sort of UFO ship, similar to like the drones that he summoned in Iron Marines.
Hmm.
I I don't know. It looks like it's targeting a tower in this frame. You can see it's got like some sort of purple ray that's it charges down and hits the tower. I don't know if that does anything.
Similar to the Magnus Spellbane fight,
Yeah, and it looks
probably.
like he's like basically being a DJ with like his little hands up there on the top of the temple. He's like
Well, you got to
constantly.
have a hobby.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Shatra's got to have a hobby, you know. Bro's trying to riz himself up a little bit. Defeat legendary heroes. So here we can see Mirage, who is blowing this war horn for some reason. Also, do you see here there's like some enemies moving underground, but like in reverse?
Hmm.
They're like going
Hmm.
away from the exit, which I think is weird. So what could that be? Could that be like the Doom Terrors somehow as like an ability from like the Sandworm Tower? Like maybe that's its brood coming up from underneath the sand? And the
Maybe they shoot out and go down the path and fight and block enemies like a skeleton or
oh my
something.
god, in that case, this thing would be basically like a weaker.
A lot better.
It would
A
be
lot better than it initially looks.
yeah, and then in which case it would be more similar to like Bone Flingers, but instead of it being an Archer Tower, it's more like the Ignis Altar.
Hmm.
That's even more broken, honestly. Yeah, biology lore
Man,
confirmed.
Ulrich looks freaking ripped. He's been juicing, dude.
He's been hitting the gym. He still has his original shoulder pad armor, just like from Frontiers. He also has a new hairstyle, which Ironhide has seemingly seen fit to point out multiple times. Also, I thought this
Hmm.
looks cool. I don't know if you caught this or not, but Isfit, if you like right there on that frame, you can see on his back he's carrying some type of large, like
Jar.
it's like a drinking jar. You know how like oh my god, what's the name of the movie? It's called The Forbidden Kingdom. Jackie Chan's in there, and he's got like one of these little drinking bottles that looks very similar to that, where he's got like rice wine in there. I wonder if Isfit has a alcoholism problem.
Have you seen? I mean, most likely it's something he's drinking out of, but like he looks big. Have you seen Naruto at all? Are you a true mega nerd? Because in Naruto,
I'm
there's
gonna be
this guy
honest.
named Gaara, and he's like a sand ninja, and he has this giant jar of sand that he carries everywhere and attacks everyone with, and it protects him and stuff. And it's autonomous. So
That's
it's its
so
own thing.
weird.
It's like this demon or a ghost like operating this sand that comes out of the bottle and crushes people and he can control it and it protects him from incoming projectiles and stuff like that. It could go that direction, but that's just the nerd in me talking. See?
Yeah, well, to answer your question, unfortunately, yes, I have watched Naruto, even though I'm not a fan of it at all. I honestly hate most anime in general. I know I'm gonna sound cringe for saying that and anger all my fan base. But on a more,
Dude, you just lost 800 subs. How dare you?
I know, right? Everybody freaking loves anime these days. It's crazy. But you know what? No, it's okay. I can understand why people like it. That's all I'll say. Um, but yes, I've seen Naruto a little bit, and but no, I haven't seen that character specifically that you were describing with the sand and what you call it. So
Yeah, I think he's like season 3 or 4. That was as far as I watched because my little brother made me, and I got into it. I mean, there's so much filler stuff in that, and it's
oh
all
yeah,
just a wild tangent. But yeah, he's a cool character. He's really cool.
right. So here we can see Malik Hammer Fury jumping down from his throne, and when he strikes the ground with his hammer, it looks like this level 3 mage tower that was up here on the top right of his POV just got completely nuked off the face of the earth.
Hmm.
So, will this be another Umbra-esque fight where your towers just get destroyed to hell and back again?
I kind of hope so because that would make things a lot more challenging. Like the more stuff that's going on at once, almost
Yes.
exclusively, like it's better to be almost hyper stimulated, like where you have so many things because it just makes it so much more intense and it's just another level of depth in a boss fight, especially because you have to be tapping to unfreeze your towers and all this kind of stuff is happening. And then
Right.
maybe it's a surprise that you have to save up gold just so you can defeat him. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm hopeful of that.
And just one other thing I wanted to point out here as we're on this final frame of the video, which basically stays around until the end here, underneath the card that says face new enemies, one of the ones I don't think we ever saw it throughout this trailer fight, but there does seem to be next to, like, between where this assassin and the camel cavalry is, there seems to be some sort of guy with, I don't know what he's holding, but there's like a snake or a serpent like looming behind him. I wonder if that's like an enemy or if he's like a snake whisperer and he like summons snakes to help fight something like that.
Hmm.
I'm assuming that's one of the new enemies, or there'll be something with serpents involved, which would be very fitting for the desert themed levels. So, yeah. But now on to the real question. And this is something that I've been thinking about and wanting to ask you guys, and especially you, Trevor, in general. There's 5 new stages, a new hero, a new tower, 3 legendary mini bosses, an epic boss fight. We get to face new enemies. This DLC is supposed to be worth $8 in US currency unless they change it at the last possible second or they have like a limited time sale. On the surface, just without knowing anything as far as like the stats or the balance or the wave composition is concerned, do you think as like a surface level this DLC is worth the money? Because obviously people are going
I
to
think
buy it just to
every
try it.
yeah, I mean, I have a very biased, pretty strong opinion on buying things, and for those of you who don't know, my argument is always yes, buy everything. But I have like, I have a full-time job and, I can afford $8 without worrying about that. But a lot of the player base plays on Android. I think it's roughly 50% I've seen from our polls.
Right.
Um, and if they've already spent all this money on it, I would think that those people could go two different ways. They can go, well, I've already invested, however many dollars they've spent, maybe 10, $20 buying heroes one at a time, all that kind of stuff. So then they say,
Yep.
do I, if I've already spent $5 or $10, do I want to spend another eight just for a little bit? Um, I think the young people who don't have jobs and all that aren't going to do it, but I'm hoping that that's the minority because I mean, I want everyone to play it. I want everyone to give feedback and
Right.
see where the story goes because, hopefully they're working on a Kingdom Rush 5 game. Hopefully that'll come out not in infinity years, but hopefully like next year, the year after that, or something like that. And hopefully we can finally see another epic tower defense game where we all unite and kill aliens and stuff. That'd be cool.
Absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
that the majority of people will buy it basically.
Okay.
I think it's interesting that you have to buy it on every platform, but it also seems pretty clear that like they put a lot of work into this and like there's a lot of stuff going on. You get a lot for it, It's like people wouldn't bat an eye if they were buying a hero for 99 cents or a couple bucks and then like a tower maybe for another 99 cents. But then you
Right.
also get 5 levels. It's not even just like a 3 level or anything like that, like Primal Ravage. And a lot of that other stuff was free. Um, so I think this kind of balances out. I don't know. Basically, my boiled down opinion is frogs are the superior race, obviously.
Oh,
No, yeah,
absolutely.
I say buy it. I hope everybody buys it and tries it. And
Right.
if it's not good, then give the feedback or leave it on review on the App Store or something. But like, I'm gonna buy it because
Right.
it's $8. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
$8 is nothing, basically. Even though for some of you guys out there who are free to play players, and we're lucky to just even get your mom and dad to buy the game for you on mobile, or just to somehow get the money or means to obtain it for free while it was on sale or something. Um, I think you bring up a very good point. I would just like to point out that as we can see here in this final frame of this video, this is available for the App Store on iOS. You can get it on Google Play. You can even find it on Apple Arcade. Who the hell uses it? I don't know. But Steam, this is something that I talked about in my video where I was addressing Ironhide's concerns, and I said this is the second time when you guys were talking about Junk World that you released it exclusively on Apple Arcade, just like you did initially with Legends of Kingdom Rush. Maybe we'll get it on Steam later. I really hope they do. I don't know if they will or if that's something that they're working on porting over. But with that being said, what I am happy to see them doing is, at least with this DLC, they are spreading it across every platform so that no matter what kind of platform or gamer that you are playing with this on, you will be able to purchase it and be able to experience it for yourself if you have the funds necessary. That being said, like, this is a historic moment, okay? Ironhide Game Studios has never done a DLC in the history of their company, like Uptime, okay? This is the first one.
One that you have to buy, you mean?
Yes. This is
Yeah.
the first time where it's not just, um you know, it's not just pay to win stuff. It's pay to play, okay? So, with
Mhm.
that being said, the tension and the hype is at an all-time high right now, I think. And I do think that people will buy it more likely than not on, if they happen to own a PC. I think they'll probably more likely buy it on Steam before they buy it on mobile. I would be surprised if more people who are playing this game on mobile were willing to pour in $8 because I don't know what the base price of the game on mobile even is. I play pretty much exclusively on Steam. I used to play these games on mobile, but I just don't play them on there anymore because you just get so much more value when you play the games on Steam anyways. You have the ability to mod the games. It's so much easier to do that if you want to. And the screens are obviously just bigger because you're playing on a monitor instead of a tiny little phone screen. You have hotkeys, so it's easier for you to rally and micro your barracks, your hero, place down abilities, everything. So, you know, and I honestly wish, like you said, Trevor, that everybody and their brother buys this DLC just so that we can get the most feedback possible. And I'm confident that a lot of people will, despite the relatively high, or at least seemingly high price tag. Because again, I genuinely
Right.
don't
And
know. I
even if
gotta
they
look
don't
this
like
up.
it, even if people who are, it's hard to come by $8 or like, because a large part of the community is teenagers and all of that and have Android phones. Like that's probably 50%, which is huge. Like that's probably the majority. Um, but being like, hey, mom and dad, can I, rake leaves or shovel snow or something, and then you
Right.
buy this for me, that's what I would do. But we're not a financial podcast, so
Exactly. Yeah,
that's up
we're,
to
we're
them.
not we're
But
not
but
operating
my
a
point is
charity
that
here.
it's going to be worth it either way, because you're just getting so much for it, and the fact that everything else was for free kind of blows my mind. I don't
Yeah.
know how you keep releasing stuff like that. That doesn't make sense to me because if I ran a company like this or even a game, like I would want things to be coming out constantly, and work with feedback from the community and stuff. But it's like if you're going to be releasing things regularly, like every couple months, it's like wouldn't you at least have to charge like $1 for every level or a couple bucks for each tower? Like I don't know. That makes more sense to me, but I don't know. I think it's worth it. Even if it's not good, it's like, okay, find some way to get the money and then buy it and play it. And like, if it's not good, the way to give feedback, you could see it as like, well, it doesn't look good. I'm not into vengeance. Screw all that. And then you don't buy it anyways and you're angry about it. And that's fine. We've all been there.
Absolutely.
We sort of
Yeah.
partially there, and that's fine.
Right.
That's one way to give feedback. The other way is to get it and then play it and then say, like you could feel like maybe you lost $8 or something like that. But it's like just leave reviews, encourage your friends and everyone else who's playing to leave bad reviews about specific parts of the DLC if you find them and if you don't like them and if they need to be shared. That's how I would do it. So yeah, I think it's worth getting either way. And it helps that every download gives me $6. So I'm gonna just get rich from this.
Oh
No,
yeah,
I wish though.
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So it
I sound like I
seems,
work for them.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, we may as well with all the promotion that we do for free. For real, for real.
Seriously.
On a separate tangent though, just to build off of everything you said there, it looks like on Apple Arcade, if you're not subscribed to it, you can still play Kingdom Rush Vengeance Tower Defense, but it'll cost you $5 in the App Store. I don't know if that's for iOS, but it seems here on Steam it costs $20. That's its current price. $20 is a lot. So a DLC costing $8 when there's already as much content as there is in
Yeah,
Vengeance.
proportionally, that seems to be not worth it. But
Right. It isn't, because if we go into Vengeance here real quick, I'll just go ahead and open the game, uh, um, just for a split second, if you will, just to see, because I'm pretty sure that's like not even a quarter of like the total stages that are in here as of right now. If we go
hmm,
into,
how many are in here? 30 something without
I'll
this
I'll
DLC?
be honest, I genuinely do not remember. It's been so long since I've touched the vanilla games. So let's do a quick head count. So there's 6 Dwarven campaign stages, another 5 ice, so it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 main campaign stages. Then you've got 3 for the frogs, that's 19, 22 if you include the winter levels, and then 25 if you include the Halloween, and then 28 for the Oriental campaign, and then finally 31.
31.
So with these
Okay,
new 5
that's what I thought.
stages, which will be in the bottom area of this map here, unless they somehow rework the entire world map so that it's like smaller. And that's another question too, like how are they going to rework this map? Are they going to make it so that you can scroll down? Are they going to like zoom in the map so
Yeah,
they don't sacrifice detail but you can still like see everything? I don't know how they're going to do this. I'm going to briefly click out of here so I can swap back to the live stream chat. It's going to look ugly for a second. For a moment. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. We're back. We're BBB back. Um, but yeah, so like you're getting 5 stages for $8 on top of the hero, on top of the boss fights, on top of the new tower. Are 5 stages plus a hero and a tower worth $8 when this entire game is worth like 20? Probably not. Just on the surface level, it probably is not worth it. Because look how many heroes we have for $20. And look how many towers. We've got almost. This will be our 16th hero. This will be a full roster, 2 full rows of 8. And the towers. Oh my god, the tower is going to rework this entire area too, because there's already 20 of these.
Oh,
They're going
geez.
to do. What are they going to do? Three
Wow.
rows of 7? 7 rows of 3? How are they going to reorganize this menu?
They should have just deleted Orc Shaman. It's too bad. Or better yet, freaking Rocket Riders.
No, get rid of the get rid of the blazing gem. It's too broken. or the rocket
I mean, if this
riders.
campaign is hard, that's one of the problems too. It's like if the campaign is hard and it's refreshingly challenging, like I thought like Primal Ravage was, or most of the Frog campaign, um, Anurian, not Frog, Froge.
Yes.
Then it's like, well, you kind of are just going to be forced to use Blazing Gem, Bone Flingers, and like the meta towers anyways, which they may design around that, like maybe the range, like as you pointed out earlier, the tower spots, they're spread out and there's not a lot of close space where the lanes or sub lanes can be hit by towers. So this is going to favor
Right.
towers that have bigger range. So like you said, Goblin Zeppelin, with a barracks could do a good job, and you could micro it based on the waves if it's moving to different paths. But Bone Flingers, they have a very small range. So like maybe their only ability that'll really help at all will be the skeletons that go out through the entire level.
Right.
So maybe they are working around the meta because Blazing Gem has small range too.
Well,
So if it's only able to target a portion of the enemies that even walk on that lane,
mhm.
then maybe that's their way of counteracting those towers. I don't know. I
Well,
like to give them the benefit of a doubt, but we won't really know.
right. And I think it's interesting that you bring up the meta. That is something I've been meaning to talk about for a while. I don't even know if you could consider that this game has one. I would assume it does because, well, the thing is, you can make basically any tower in this game specifically work. Maybe not so much in the other first 3 Kingdom Rush games. To go on a tangent real quick though, just like going and talking about like the other mini campaigns, if we go into like say the Anurian mini campaign level, we take a look at the level design, where they put the tower spots, all of the details that they put into each of these different levels in these mini campaigns. This is also going to be historic because I'm pretty sure this is going to be the biggest mini campaign they have ever made. It's 5 stages, which is equivocal to the entirety of like Linearia's campaign in the main campaign, anyways. So it might as well be like its fourth part of the main campaign if you want to call it that. So what I think
Yeah.
what I think happened here. I don't know the order that they released these campaigns in, but I think they did a great job with the Anurian campaign. Obviously, I'm going to be a little biased towards my own race. The winter one, I'm not gonna lie, this was just ass. I did not care for
Yeah,
this
it
at
was
all.
terrible.
I liked the
So
snow golems.
slow. Oh my God.
Okay, well hold on. Let's try and salvage what we can here though. I like the snow golem mechanic. That might be like the one redeeming quality of this thing. It would be nice though if the snow golems actually mattered and weren't just like walking HP pools and actually felt a little more threatening. I mean, it's
Yeah.
snow. It's literal freaking snow and rocks. Okay, the rocks are heavier than the snow, but I feel like these things could move a little bit quicker, okay? Making them cost money to get rid of, I don't think that's a good idea. I think they should just be guaranteed to spawn so you have to deal with them throughout. It would make the game much more challenging, especially with like the ones that are placed closer to the exits. I love this mechanic. I think that there's things that they could have done though absolutely to like rework this campaign and make it just overall more fun. It's not that the enemies weren't challenging at certain points. It's just that it was a boring and unforgettable or forgettable mini campaign overall. I think that
Yeah.
the Halloween one is the worst of the worst though. This boss fight was just terrible. The music was just recycled from the tutorial level of all things, and I didn't really care for that OST either.
Yeah, I don't like anything about them either.
Yeah, the artwork was like it was okay. I mean, visually, all of Vengeance, I would argue, looks very appealing, but on the surface at least. But we don't buy these games just because they look good, as I told Ironhide. I like the little mechanic with like these little purple ray towers, these little miniature um,
Yeah.
blazing gems, if you want to call them that. But their range is so short and they're placed so awkwardly, it's difficult to get them to work at certain points. So I wasn't a fan of that. And then yeah, obviously the boss fight was just no bueno. What did you think about the vines mechanic though? Where like towers spots are held by vines, it reduces their attack speed or prevents barracks from
I thought that
blocking.
it was I thought that it was like creative, but I mostly just find it annoying.
Yeah,
But that just might be, my own bias and you can't make like an objective statement about it.
sure.
Because some people might love that and be like, it's more challenging because the tower spots are basically bad on those levels.
Right.
Like on this level, especially.
Well, it's
It's
more
really
high
bad. Like it
maintenance.
makes it really hard in Kingdom Rush Revengeance too, the awesome mod that all of you should play right now.
Wait, which
Like
one?
it's so hard. Revengeance, like
Oh
playing
yeah.
playing these levels is more worth it, but like the Vine's ability just gets amplified even more because you're like, well, now I can't place this amazing Shadow Archer there because it's attacking half as fast or whatever, and I find it mostly annoying, but like sometimes I kind of like annoying because it makes it harder, which makes you have to be creative and problem solve and play the level a couple times. And I generally like that type of thing. But at some point, hard or creative just becomes annoying or superfluous. I think it kind of rides that line, but it's more so on
Right.
the side of just being annoying. I don't like it, but like I like the creative idea of like trying it out and see what happens. And
Yeah.
it's only 3 levels, and you can just avoid those spots or
Right.
just build barracks there and try to
Yeah.
only leave them at like level 1, 2, or 3.
If
And
they
that's
did
usually
it
what
for
I do.
all of
But
the tower
yeah,
spots, that would be kind of interesting. But I do agree with you. I wouldn't say that they're the best edition of the world. I do agree with you that they are slightly annoying, but I also still think that mechanics like that are the type of creativity that Ironhide needs to build off of if they're going to make future tower defense games more challenging and interesting. As far as like the Oriental
right.
mini campaign is concerned, I'm not going to lie, on the surface this looked great when it first dropped, and then it just kind of flopped. Like the music is beautiful, at least the first one. The second one was, oh god, I hated it. Um the boss fight was a joke. This guy, what does he do? He spits water all over my troops and freaking, well, thanks for rehydrating me with your
The
water
legendary
spit.
dragon that doesn't even hurt anybody.
I
Does
mean,
he even hurt anybody with anything
no,
ever?
no, he has
Or
no
does he just
actual
sit there and
damage.
spit water so that the Mogwai can multiply?
Dragons are known for fire. Why does he spit water? That
Well,
makes
there
no
are water
sense.
dragons in mythology and all that kind of stuff too. Like I don't know, water dragons are a thing, but he should have like shot out some sort of damaging stuff during that level that would have helped.
Hold on a second. Okay,
You
there
just
we go.
mow him down with blazing gem anyways.
Yeah. But yeah,
The
again, I think
boss
that this
killer.
these freaking levels look and just are visually beautiful, and there's so much lore and perspective here that they could build off of. But it's like, but you got to make the gameplay actually interesting. It's not all about just you know the the surface look of something. That being said, the final mini campaign and the most recent one that they did, which was the Primal Ravage update, this one was like the best one that they've done in this game, I think, thus far outside of the Anurian levels. I actually liked this one quite a
Yeah.
bit. It was
I like
challenging.
the Anurian levels the best, like the Pollux, the Wise, boss fight, like the aesthetic of
Yes.
everything. It looks really cool. The first level, getting slapped in the face on Maginisha Shores, which is not
Yeah.
uh, yeah. I was gonna go on a tangent about like the way that is spelled
No,
because
no, you're
everyone
fine.
thinks it's um,
Magnesia
what
Shores.
was it? It was like yeah, everyone calls it
It's
Magnesia Shores, and
okay.
I called it that, and then I'm like, oh, there's extra consonants in there and vowels that I
Yeah.
didn't see.
It's okay. You're not the only
But
one
yeah,
who
I
messed it
love
up.
that. The first frog level, I didn't like the second one that much, but like it's still cool.
Yeah.
It's certainly cool in Kingdom Rush Revengeance, the epic mod of all time. And then, the Pollux the boss fight, especially in Kingdom Rush Revengeance, is so fun and challenging.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah, like I think I like that better than Primal Ravage. Like I was really into Primal Ravage when I did a series
Yes.
of like, what's a non-meta tower that you could try to spam on it. And that was fun for me, but um and I also think that they did a really good job in Primal Ravage of trying to get you to not use meta towers because it seems like Gobbler Rings and Dank Knights, Dark Knights were really good on that.
Hey Sam,
And
are you
any
referring?
insta-kill towers.
Sam in the chat here was saying the hero is bad. Are you referring to the mini campaign that includes Dian Yun, or are you talking about Grosh? Because I'll agree Dian Yun's just bad because he's a dragon in general, but Grosh on the other hand, I thought was a pretty fun hero to use. I liked using this
You
hero.
say bad as in like imbalance, though. Most people
No,
say bad as in like
I just
strong or
no no
weak.
no no
I
no.
really like Diane Young
Let me
personally. That's
clarify.
one of my favorite heroes.
Well, let me clarify for a second. I'm not talking just because he's just a dragon. I just don't think he's fun to use, period. Like, his main attack, he hovers over enemies and he strikes them with lightning. So he's basically like an orc shaman who can't stun. He can summon little golden seahorse, you
Can't
know.
stun. He stuns like crazy. What are you talking about, Willis?
Okay, maybe they. Okay, to be fair, I have not used this hero, like, at all. So, you know what? Alright, my bad. But that being said, I just don't. I don't know. It just doesn't seem fun to use. I'd rather use the Grosh.
He's basically pure support, but I feel like he's done well and he's different enough from normal OP flying heroes. Like I think he's very overpowered still because of just his hero ability is just so ridiculous. Imagine if those little golden dragons that he summoned were
KM
permanent.
KM5 saying Primal Ravage needed less dinosaurs? That's interesting. Hmm. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just think they did an all-around good job with this particular mini campaign. Like the little references here like to the Incredibles with the Underminer, the
Hmm.
the dinosaur egg things, and these little nests here. Like, I think it makes sense to have like some sort of dinosaur connection here, just a little bit. I think it was cool that they introduced them in. You're right in the sense that maybe they shouldn't have been as prevalent. Like, maybe they should have focused more on the actual cave dwarves and the prehistoric dwarves. Because let's think about it. I mean, it is quote unquote primal ravage, but I think both factions can still fit comfortably into the mini campaign and not be considered like out of place. Personally, I didn't have a problem with the enemies that they introduced here, the little velociraptors and the prehistoric dwarves. I think it doesn't make sense that they have synergy where like they can buff the speed and the damage and the HP of the velociraptors. That to me doesn't make sense. Or like the freaking prehistoric dwarves like hanging on to the pterodactyls. That to me was kind of
Yeah,
silly.
that's flying.
Yeah, it's just like this thing has a giant mallet
I like the
hammer.
mechanic because it means that you have to use archers and then you have to take care of these big boys that are
Oh
pretty
yeah.
threatening overall, especially when they
Yes,
come in big
they
numbers.
actually felt threatening for a
Um,
minute. When I first did this deal, I keep calling it a DLC. I'm going to call every freaking mini campaign a DLC now just because they're releasing this stupid thing. When I first,
what would you call it if not a DLC? Like an update or
yeah, update. Well, because again, all the rest of them were already included with the base price of the game. You didn't have to pay anything extra for them. This is the first time we have to pay something extra, and it's quite a bit. So, you know. I had
yeah.
a point here. Where was I going with this? Yes, this mini campaign in particular. When I first played it, it reminded me of when I first encountered the Anurian levels, and I was actually struggling on Maginish's shores, and I was like, "Oh my god, prehistoric dwarves are like actually threatening. Like, I'm losing lives here. I have to change up my strategy. I can't just spam like one thing and just win." So I actually had to think that is the kind of experience that I had been missing for so long before they released that new mini campaign. And now that they have this new one for Hammerhold, I'm hoping that that experience will be improved upon, if not at least the same. Because that's what I love about Ironhide's games. That's what I fell in love with. Was you were encouraged at certain points to experiment and use different things, not just given a roster of towers and heroes and be like, all right, just use whatever the hell you want, you're going to win regardless, at least up until
Hmm.
Vengeance. But
Yeah, and I like it when they kind of force you to use powers that you normally don't use, because
right,
everybody will disrespect what are they called? What's the purple mage called in Kingdom Rush?
the Arcane Wizards, I hated
Arcane
those. I'm
Wizards.
sorry, I still do.
Yeah, so like it yeah, I don't like them either.
Okay, good.
But I like it when strategies force you to like get creative because I feel like that's like the number one thing that people like about it. They like creative problem solving and being like, "Oh, we can't just spam this. And that's one thing I'm hopeful of with this new update is at least on that one level, which I don't know if it's the final level or not, the one that you showed that has like spread out towers and like it looks like the enemies could be kind of far away from it. That might like throw us for a loop in a good way. And
Yeah.
that's my major prediction of this. My other one is that the hero looks pretty cool. The
Yeah.
tower, I'm not super hopeful of
I don't know.
personally, but I'm curious just because it's new and it's still Kingdom Rush, so like I geek out about that. But like,
Right.
yeah, the hero I'm very hopeful for because he looks cool. He's kind of like a combination of like a wizard and support, but he's not just like a straightforward like Nivis like Excelsior, like he can do some weird, funky, fresh things,
Yeah.
and that seems pretty cool to me.
Salmon asking in the chat, do you think the new hero is going to be OP? I have absolutely no idea. Because the thing about from what we saw in the trailer video for this update or DLC, whatever you want to call it, tomato, he can obviously has an ability to summon meteors. He's obviously a mage warlock, so we're assuming he's got some various magical attacks. Maybe he has another insta kill, which if he did, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be super thrilled about. I hope he doesn't. Well, actually, no, wait. Didn't they literally showcase him? I have to go look this up
I
now,
think
but
he does have an insta kill.
yes, I believe he does. Let's go to Ironhide Game Studios real quick. And let's take a look. I think they have some shorts where they demonstrate his abilities. So let's take a look here. I'm gonna full screen this. Where on earth is it? Am I just blind? I don't have my glasses on, so that does not help. Where is he? Oh, here we go. Isfet the Warlock. Here we go. Now, can I slow this down somehow? They don't have the same damn settings for this that they do on like regular videos, which is kind of annoying. I thought there was a way you could get the player type to change, but whatever, it's fine. We can rewatch it as many times as it needs to be. We'll just let it loop. So unleash the plagues. Okay, so he's got some ground attacks right there. He just polymorphed an enemy into a frog. So he's got meteors. He's got you know ranged plague attacks. Let me see this first one right here. He's throwing out like some swarm of like flies, whatever you want to call it. Probably biblical reference if I had to guess. But yeah, I mean he's a cool looking dude. He's actually a pretty large sized hero compared to the others.
Hmm.
So and I love his look. He definitely fits the mummy warlock theme. He basically reminds me of like a sand wraith from um, Frontiers,
Yes,
as an enemy.
that's what I was thinking he was at first. I was
If
like, oh, cool, because everyone's been begging for
yeah,
towers like that and stuff.
yeah, I wonder if he'll be able to summon mummies. That would be interesting if he could. So, and then if we go over here to let's see here, the Jinnies, the Jinnies. Why do they spell it like this? DJINNIS.
That's on purpose. That
Yeah,
specifically refers to um they're like in the realm of like ghosts, angels, and demons according to like Middle Eastern religions. So they actually talk about jinnies or jinn, like they're usually called jinn, I think. I think it's actually talked about according to like um Muslims and Jews and stuff. They talk about it as like these spirits or like
really.
these trickster type of things. It's something in that realm. Yeah. And I only know about that because um Jin or Jinny are they're also like related to genie. They sound like the word genie, so it's like all kind of in the same ballpark. But it was in a different game that I played a lot growing up, where there's these little basically Pokemon thing that you collect throughout this RPG, and they're called Ginny, and they like help you on your quest. And yeah, that's
Right,
actually like a thing that a lot of people would know.
right.
They'd be like, "Oh, that's cool. That's a cool aspect."
That is a very cool aspect. And speaking of genies, check out this little lore segment piece here. Genie, I invoke our covenant, defend our land. And then she blows this war horn. Wait, did the... There we go. So she's summoning him from the ocean when she blows that war horn. And wow, okay. I you know what? I want to say something and it's going to sound so stupid, but you know what? It's true. I don't know if you guys saw that there when she was attacking that Dark Knight at a low level. But she's blowing her war horn and she's throwing her daggers at this level 1 Dark Knight and she's dealing like next to no damage to him, which is hilarious
Well,
because in Frontiers she basically dealt
they
next
have
to no
armor.
damage.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be funny
true.
if that's how it worked.
I mean, but
I
she's a
mean, they
mini
have armor
boss.
and 160 HP at level 1 or whatever it is. So it's like if she's doing 25% of that or 20%, so minus their armor, because I think they start off with like 40% or like some good chunk of
It's
armor. So like
medium
she might
armor.
actually be doing,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so she might actually have the potential to do like, 50 damage per hit and then minus their damage. So she's actually doing 25 to them. So then she can kill them in 5 hits. That's roughly how the math is based
Right.
off of me just looking at their health bars and rough memory works out.
I like
But
that.
yeah, I don't know. I hope that they're all threatening bosses, you know. We don't want
Yeah.
we don't want them to be a pushover.
I like that in the trailer when we saw the different bosses getting introduced, they did seem to have some of their same abilities. So like you could see here Malik, well not in this short specifically, but I we could see during the trailer video he was using his hammer earthquake attack, but obviously it deals much more than just earthquake damage now at this point. We saw that Mirage could throw her daggers. I hope she'll keep some of her same abilities, like maybe even the backstabbing one where she like assassinates like your hero or a barracks troop or something would be cool. She could like throw out her shadows. Maybe she could buff the range of other enemy ranged attackers so that they could shoot their projectiles further. Alric, we could see during the trailer. I'm actually gonna have to go back and like look this up real quick, but I believe we saw at one point he did have his sand warriors summoned to help him fight. And in that same frame, there was something else too that I forgot to point out, Trevor, that I think you'll find extremely interesting. So let me see where it is.
Hmm.
I will just hold this down here. 2 times speed, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Frog people, ribbit. So here we go. Any second now. I'm actually going to slow down the speed of the video here when we get to it. So defeat legendary heroes. So here we can see Mirage. She's doing her thing. So here we go. Here's Alric, who is summoning in his Sand Warriors. And I don't know if you can see this little archer here in the top right corner. On top of this little building next to the Shadow Archer at level 3. He's just fired an arrow. And if you pay very careful attention, that arrow is about to hit this demon reinforcement up here. There's like just a
Hmm.
microsecond frame where you can see that it actually dealt damage to him. So that basically confirms there will be like custom scenery level towers for the enemy side that will be able to attack our reinforcements and hero. I don't know if they'll have global range like the ones in Lineria did on top of Dennis's castle. But anyways, back to what I was saying before for a split second. I'm happy to see that they are basically keeping most of the abilities for, you know, the heroes more or less, at least from the looks of things. So, yeah.
Yep. It looks like they did a good job. I'm really excited.
Right. And we'll go back here real quick, make sure there's nothing else with the what you call it. Here we go. This looks interesting. You can see in this little short here, there is a comic strip. I think this is the one that we're going to see at the start of this mini campaign. And Vesnan's fleet is just pulling up. He's got the whole squad, and look at his own personal command
Yeah.
ship with all of those
I
cannons
love
pointing
the
off the
art on all
side.
of their comic strips. They look so cool.
It's amazing. And I hope that if they ever make a remastered version of Kingdom Rush 1, that they include comics in there as well. They really only did that at the end credits when you finally beat the boss, or the main boss, Vesnan.
Hmm.
But I like that they have that there. Speaking on a completely random tangent, I think there was a Vesnam plushie short somewhere around here, like later on down. I had a friend of
Did
mine.
you get yours in the mail yet?
No, actually, I I had multiple people who were friends of mine who ordered them and got them. They only minted, I think, like 300 some. Um, but I did not order one, mostly because Veznan is my enemy and he murdered all my people. So like, why would I buy his plushie except for target practice or as a punching bag? And I don't support abuse of stuffed plushies, so that's why I didn't order one. but here we go. Oh, look at this. This is a new short, by the way. I have not seen this one. It's very, very short. It's literally just like a couple seconds. But yes, tomorrow we are getting our Hammerhold DLC. This is beautiful. And you've got all these people who are hyped for the game, dropping this. Honestly, Ironhide Game Studios, if you're watching this, you got to know that everybody and their brother is hyped as hell for this DLC. We are all waiting with anxious breath to basically, play our heart and soul out of this entire thing and just, really see what you guys have to offer. It's a historic moment. The first time ever that they are offering a DLC for money. I just hope that it's worth it. I understand that they want to support their families, support their employees. I'm all for that. I just hope that, you guys obviously were working on this in secret because nobody knew about this until a couple weeks ago. And, I'm just cautiously optimistic at this point. So,
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not as cautious as I should be. Because I think based on what we can see, like it looks like it's a little bit more guaranteed to be good and worth it than
than
um
not.
yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna get it. I think everybody should get it, and if you don't like it, then just write a review.
Yeah, write a review. If you guys don't like it, at least you can say you tried it and, at least hopefully get a little something out of it. I think as soon as this DLC does drop and people start playing it and, showcasing it on their YouTube channels and whatnot, and they start writing reviews, I think honestly, this update will either make or break Ironhide's reputation. Genuinely. And I know
Yeah.
that's a pretty
I
bold
mean,
statement to make, but there's a lot riding
yeah,
on
like
this.
if the wave design is bad, that would be my number one thing. That would be like a red flag, like
Yep.
disappointment.
Yep.
Because if it's just like too slow and too easy, that's gonna be frustrating. But the last couple things that we got were good. I didn't like the Oriental campaign or the
Right.
Halloween one or really the ice one. I like some of the ideas, and I don't hate them as a whole, but like generally speaking, I didn't like them. So like if this goes down that path, that'll be really frustrating. And I'm
Right.
probably gonna have to eat my words with saying, "Oh, everybody buy it. It's only $8."
No, I still think people
But
should
like
buy it
if it's
either
at
way.
least as good as the Anorian, yeah, like I hope that it does look like it's at least as good as the Anorian campaign and Primal Ravage. So fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers crossed indeed. And honestly, I just there's so much riding on this at this point. I don't want to pile too much pressure or like stress or anxiety on any of this, but like it's hard not to when we've already seen so much that these guys have produced. I'm just genuinely hoping and praying that this is going to be good. With that being said, however, and I don't know if you've spoken with other content creators or people who've been beta testing this, Trevor, and I don't want to.
No.
Okay, well then, here's all I'm going to tell you guys because I'm not allowed to say too much because A, I'm not beta testing this and I don't want to get the other beta testers in trouble. What I will tell you though is that there is actually more to this DLC than meets the eye. There is going to be more going on than just the tower, just the stages, and just the hero, the new hero. There will be
Okay,
more.
well you better leave it vague, dude.
Yeah, I'm leaving it vague. I'm not
Don't be
saying
riveting left and right about everything that's gonna happen.
I'm not saying nothing else besides that. All I can tell you is that there will be more to this DLC than just the stuff that's been advertised. So,
Okay, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. There's gonna be a lot of flies to eat, right? Lots of
absolutely.
flies for the frosh.
You know what?
Okay.
Honestly, I've been trying to lose some weight. Okay, I need to get back in shape, and that's one of the things I'm looking forward to when I make my move out of state here pretty shortly. I'm gonna be moving in with one of my best friends who happens to also like work out a crap ton and just be he's super active. But I've been kind of getting lazy. I've
Hmm.
been getting a little lethargic, just sitting on my ass gaming all the time. So I'm looking
Well, when
forward
you can
to
levitate, you might as well just balloon up.
exactly. Yeah, literally just
The fatter the frog, the more power. What's the line that Pollock
Yeah,
says when you're fighting him. He's like, "Who cares about my weight? I can levitate." He
yeah,
says something like
exactly.
that, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, but there is, there is something to be said for, obviously having a healthier lifestyle and not spending all of our time just, gaming. Not that I wouldn't like to, of course. Me, I'm a video gamer at heart. I love my video games. I'm addicted to them.
You? No,
Yeah, no, no, no.
no.
Who would imagine? Fat Frog not going to be fat anymore. Honestly, like, I'm not, even right now, I'm not, like, crazy overweight for my height. I need to figure out what the hell my weight is. The last time I weighed myself, I was like, I want to say 170 something pounds, which is not bad.
I mean, you're what, like 7'4", 7'5"? That's a pretty good weight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. I wish I was 7'4", 7'5". Are you kidding me? Oh my god, if I was that height,
You'd be
whew.
like Yao Ming playing basketball, dunking
Oh,
on Shaq.
you know what? Okay, we're gonna go really off the rails on the topic of conversation here.
Good.
I'm gonna
We
rant
should.
I'm gonna rant about sports for a minute, even though I don't even watch them. Or I should say I used to watch them when I was living with my parents. I don't really since I've moved out. But here's what I'll say about sports. Motherfucker, these people are making who knows how much money per year, even if it's in the hundreds of thousands and not millions. And they're complaining, well, like, oh, so and so's over there is making like 5 million a year to sit on his ass most of the games that our team is playing and not even do anything. Meanwhile, I'm only making a couple 100,000. Bro, I would kill to make 100,000. I'd kill to make
I
half a
know.
million. That's like, bro.
It's their culture and their lifestyle too, when like the other guys are buying whatever they want and living these luxurious lives. It's like if you only make, 200,000 a year and you're kind of bottom of the bracket and then like you have all these other players making
For
20
real.
mil and all this crazy stuff. It's like, yeah, you feel like you're making nothing, but it's like you just have to adjust your, the way that you live
Right.
basically. And
Although that being
yeah.
said, I gotta wonder. I have to wonder how much of the money that they make they actually spend on maintaining themselves and their personal physique and body. Because these guys, the recovery sessions that they do from the training regimen that they go through, the food that they have to prepare, dietary restrictions and exercise, all that stuff. I mean, you see how much LeBron James puts in, you know, to maintain his body. I've seen one of his homes that was actually not literally that far from me, near Cleveland. There's one that's like around the city of Fairlawn. He's got like a house that he stays in occasionally there. It's like a vacation house of sorts, but it's like huge and it's so extravagant. It's got all these different like things in it that like most houses normally don't. Like this guy literally has a freaking like bowling lane in there. But which by the way, I was actually bowling last night with a friend. We did great. I had on the first game we played, I scored a grand total of I think like 36 points. I was so bad.
Wow.
I was out of shape. I like the
Dude,
first.
that's 3 times my record though, so that's pretty good.
I think the highest I've ever scored IRL in bowling was like 130 something. But the second game that I played, I did a lot better. I had like 72 because I changed the way I was bowling. But like the first like 4 or 5 frames, I was just rolling everything into the gutter because I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, you got to throw those bumpers up, man.
I know. I got to get the bumpers for the fat frog. Yeah, really. I should just take the bowling ball, shoot my tongue down the lane, and just knock everything over. Oh gosh. But yeah. No, I think that it's just good to balance your life around some exercise, some video games, but as long as you're doing both, that's the good way to keep
Yeah,
your
or
mind
even,
sharp.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool how much Shy Guy Mask was getting into exercising and, being open about like his anxiety and depression and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And how exercise like helps a lot with that. Diet, obviously. Yeah. Like I've messed around a lot with that kind of stuff in my life too. And it's definitely a balance. And sometimes you got to just kind of force yourself to start being healthier and just make these baby steps. Not going to be perfect.
Right. Yes. Hello, Floofy Doggo. Hello, Viduke. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wish we could get him in the VC. I mean, honestly, we could. I don't know
Oh,
if.
Vaduke's here. Let's get out of here.
I mean, if he's
It's ruined.
free.
It's tainted now.
Exactly. Yes, I know. This whole thing has just gone downhill. But no, on a more serious note, I mean, if he wants to join us in VC, I'm open to it. It just depends, though. I don't want to.
Let's talk all day. We got nothing better to do.
I mean, I'm unemployed, so I literally have nothing better to do besides get a job.
I'm at work right now, but I'm able to talk while working, so it's not
Right.
a big deal.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of people talking in the chat real quick. We'll go here and just kind of read through some of the comments, just see what you guys are thinking about and talking about when it comes to this DLC. We've had a good hour and 15 minutes to talk about this. And Screwdriver asking, "What's up with Kingdom Rush villains turning enemies into frogs?" That is something funny. I think that like most people don't realize or know about like these games. The kind of almost weird or unique obsession with Ironhide and polymorphism, where enemies like they're afraid of sheep, and they show that pretty heavily in Kingdom Rush 1. And then there's like all these
Sheep
polymorphing,
genocide.
yeah, for real. Like there's like polymorphing sheep. There's the frogs. Even from Kingdom Rush 1, you have the black hags who can just turn your barracks into frogs. So they really hate sheep and they love frogs for some reason. Not that I'm complaining, obviously, but so
I mean, polymorphing is a cool thing. Like,
yeah,
you got polymorph. That's how you started your channel, dude.
polymorph the wise. Oh gosh. Oh, look at this. Wait, hold on a second. I didn't even notice this. In this frame, in the bottom left, there is a variant of the war elephant that has archers on its back. Huh, go figure.
Oh, geez. More Lord of the Rings references. I mean,
Let's go.
completely original
Oh,
ideas.
I don't care if they blatantly rip off that franchise. It's a great franchise to rip off. Who gives a shit?
It's
Honestly,
the best 3 movies ever made, and I will die on that hill.
you know what? There's a service that my friends just set me up with recently. It's called Plex, and it's got so much free stuff on there, like movies and TV shows wise, and I love it because I've just been able to.
And they're the proud sponsor of today's podcast.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh my god. No, today's live stream, ladies and gentlemen, is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a mobile RPG game, and I'm not going to continue the script because I don't remember any more of it. Yeah, everyone rips off Lord of the Rings, LMAO. Legionnaires weren't mercenary. Why are they fighting for Hammerhold? What do you mean?
I thought Legionnaires
Yeah, literally.
were mercenaries.
Yeah,
and that
literally,
you
they
could
are.
hire them.
Okay, hold on a second. Auditor, welcome to the stream, but hold on a
Unless
second.
they mean the Legionnaire
No,
archers.
no. Listen. This is why we are here. We need to educate our audience. So, Auditor, 1001 in the chat, welcome. But you boys get about to school you, okay? So just give me a second. If my game will load, for fuck's sake. This thing is so slow. This is why I need to upgrade. I'm just gonna, you know what, screw this. I'm just gonna restart the damn app. Any day now. Steam.
Watch your mouth. We're speaking to youngsters.
Oh, gosh. That's okay. They've heard worse. For the most part.
Only frogs can swear. There's no laws against that.
Like, okay, I used to be more ornery about not swearing, but after a certain point, I was just like, you know what? It's whatever. I mean,
Well,
like, I
the
don't do
YouTube
it, like,
algorithm will literally demonetize and put age restrictions if you swear within like X amount of minutes of your
Right.
video. And yeah, I've seen stuff on that. I'm just like the amount of limiting free speech and all that kind of stuff that's happening is just absurd. I have my own rant I could make about this though, because
Right.
I've been demonetized since like October 9th or something. I'll be able to apply
It's dumb.
to be monetized again on January 9th. So maybe on January 9th I'll just release like 30 videos that day. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like, honestly, and this is the reason why, like, I don't ever monetize my live streams, because then I can just say whatever I want and not give a shit about demonetization. And that's
True.
just it. Like, it's too much work for me to, like, consciously stop myself and, like, censor myself. I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm going to say what I want. America,
Yeah.
freedom of speech. As obviously, as long as it's not something completely outlandish or, like, racist or whatever. I mean, but, like, during, like, my normal videos that I've done in the past, like, just not live streams, but regular recordings, I don't really swear that much there, because I'm actually trying to inform people in those videos. Whereas with live streams, I'm just doing, like, gameplay walkthroughs, and I don't care about the commentary because I'm just making it up off the fly as I go along. Now, Auditor, going back to what I was saying...
That's a good balance.
Yeah, because, like, then you get the type of content that people want on the side, but then you also have content where you can just kind of do whatever you want and have fun without really needing to care. Because all of my regular recorded videos, I monetize those. The ones that I upload to YouTube directly, not live stream, those ones are all monetized. But the live streams, I never monetize those. People will send super chats occasionally, which, by the way, if you guys do that, I really appreciate it. You don't have to, but like seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart if you guys do. But going back to the Legionnaires, yes, the desert's most fierce dwellers await a contract. That literally means that these guys are for hire. Okay, so they are mercenaries. Just to correct you there. But yes. Oh, I completely forgot we could just sell the damn tower. Lol. You can't do that in the vanilla game. I'm playing a modded version, by the way, so shh. Ironhide doesn't like it when we play with mods. But anyways.
No, they're neutral. They don't care.
Really? Because
Is what I've
I'll be
heard.
honest, I've never seen them comment on any of my live streams or videos where I've done modded content.
I think they're trying to just be like, this is
Yeah.
happening, and that's cool because people are still interested in it.
Right.
But like,
They're not going to go out of their
I
way
don't think
to
that they can
promote
do anything to like endorse it or
Right.
the opposite. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen anything whatsoever, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm pretty much fine with a neutral stance on it. I'm like, yeah, that's. I wish they were a little bit more community involved and we could talk to them
Right.
directly and and talk about the mods and have them try it out and get some ideas from it. Or maybe they could just consider, I don't know, rebalancing Kingdom Rush Vengeance a little bit. It wouldn't be that hard to just buff the bad towers by 20 or 30%, and a quick thing like that would
Yeah.
be cool. But
Yeah, it would be
don't
really,
know.
really nice if
We'll
they
see.
rebalanced the game.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh. Is that so now? Interesting. I'm not
Never
gonna
had
say-
that thought before.
No, I'm not gonna say anymore. Actually, I think from the trailer video, this level, Buccaneer's Den, might be the first one. Like the first level in the DLC. Because it would make sense. You've got the beaches here where like the enemies can kind of like walk down this path. The structure of the path looks weird, but if you rotate the map like how do I say this? If you rotate this entire map like to the left from like the POV top-down view, it would look more like the level that we saw in the trailer. So I think this is where we're gonna start, and that would just make sense because like it's literally got water. Like where else are you gonna start this from? So yeah, like right here would be another stage, the Dunes of Despair. I don't know how they're gonna rework this. Sape Oasis, I guarantee you this is going to be a level that they're going to include. I would be amazed if they didn't. Sandhawk Hamlet, I don't really know if they're gonna do this one or not, but obviously like Hammerhold and the arena, this is definitely gonna be one. So yeah. How rich is Hammerhold? What is their tax policy? What? I don't know.
I think it's a pretty modest 87.3% tax.
Yeah, that sounds about reasonable. I mean, shoot, they're the taxes they need to feed Laneria's fat king, and I mean Malik's just so buff from hitting the gym all the time. The guy has to eat like crazy to keep up his dietary needs. So. And actually, if you think about it, high taxes in a desert-like country like Hammerhold actually kind of makes sense, because if you think about it, they're gonna have to import most of their goods from food and really just like goods in general, like clothes, weapons, everything. It's not like you can just manufacture shit in the desert where there's a bunch of sand,
What do you mean you can't manufacture it? You just click on those animals and then poop shoots out of them.
Oh yeah, the little banshee.
Yeah, you said you can't manufacture shit, but they do it. Just a few clicks, man. You get like 5 gallons of doo-doo.
You know what? All right, fair point. Yes. So, but yeah, honestly, if they ever end up doing future DLCs for this game and they expand the map in different directions where all this like foggy areas are like, currently covered by like these little clouds, that would be kind of cool. Honestly, I think it would be kind of nice.
They could. I want them to just move on, though.
That's true.
I want them to finally say, like, this is finished. I mean, they've been saying it's finished for 1,800 years, but yeah. I like that you pointed out the hero spot. That like, where's this hero even going to be?
Right. Well, that's just
Is he technically going to be like a guest hero? Like, how are they going to fit in?
No, the hero will fit.
You said that there's
here.
16 of them.
Well, yeah. There's.
Oh no, I meant the tower.
Oh yeah, the tower.
The tower spot.
I have to imagine that they'll probably rework the window a little bit so that the icons are maybe slightly smaller, or maybe they'll just like instead of expanding this vertically and shrinking everything on this same interface size, what they'll probably do is expand it horizontally. They'll probably have
Add
like
one at the bottom in the middle.
they'll probably have 3 columns of 7 towers, and then they'll rework the size of like these little equip towers, this little tower
Oh
icon
yeah,
here.
3 columns of 7.
Maybe
Yeah,
they'll
look at you,
finally.
Mr. Math Wizard.
Oh no, I know nothing about math. 2 + 2 = fish. Maybe they'll like rework the descriptions of the towers so that they're a little bit more detailed. Because I'll be honest with you, out of all the different things, like from an encyclopedia standpoint, hell, even excluding the encyclopedia, which honestly, this isn't like that bad to still have. But if you ask me, the tower menu icon thing that they did here, where they like list all these stats and everything and the abilities, I honestly like this more than the encyclopedia. Like, it just needs a little bit of
Yeah, I do
sprucing
too.
up, and it just needs a little bit more stats and details as far as like the actual numbers and
I wish they were more
cooldowns.
accurate too. Like it'll show the attack or the health of a tower or a unit being really high when really it's like, it's low or it's
So the
medium. It's
interesting
like,
thing about
Uh,
that is King Rexy's Kingdom Rush Reborn mod actually lists actual tower stats in this area right here, and also in the encyclopedia. He went through and he did a lot of work where he just basically made all of this more complete. And if Ironhide's taking notes, then that would be something to kind of maybe perhaps imitate for like the tower menu. If they ever remastered Kingdom Rush 1, having a tower menu like this, where like obviously you have all the towers that you have unlocked at each point throughout the first 3 Kingdom Rush games, like whenever you unlock your level 4 towers is nice. But like adding them to like this tower encyclopedia-esque menu here, even if you're not able to select the towers, but just even being able to click on them and like see all these stats and like these, like it makes the towers almost look like cards more, like this like profile right here, like this little
mhm.
box, and I really love that.
Don't
It's
bring Junk World into this.
oh god. No, but see,
The
unironically,
cards.
yeah, I don't know. I honestly liked that. I thought it was cool. It kind of reminded me of PvZ Heroes a little bit, but yeah, it's whatever, you know. So yeah,
You really think that they should make a remastered version of Kingdom Rush 1? Because I don't.
I think I, I think it would be nice if they just updated their games to look a little bit more clean and to include things from like each of the different Kingdom Rush games that were like their best qualities. Like Vengeance, having something like this in the other games would have been cool. Having something
Yeah.
like, say, reinforcements that are on like horseback, if you want to call it that, but like riding panthers from like Origins, I thought that was pretty cool. Having something like similar like that for like the
Yeah.
demon reinforcements here. Like imagine if the demon Hellions.
We need skins, man.
Well,
Bring back the skins
yes,
from the
but
Flash version.
so
I
like
love those.
yeah, but for like example, having like the demon guards or the Hellion tridents like on top of hellhounds in this game would be super cool, just from a visual
Yeah.
perspective. Even if the hounds themselves don't attack, like that would be awesome. Or having like a
Yeah.
demon instead of the stupid pit lord, why not just get rid of the damn thing and actually bring in a real demon lord who can like buff the reinforcements by like shielding them for a little bit from like magical attacks or something. Like I don't know, such cool things like that would be just the cherry on top. But yes, I do agree. Let's
You, sir, sound like a game developer in the making.
I mean, that is what I want to go for eventually. Like that is like what I'm literally working towards. So, it's just very slow
I know.
progress. I love the thought of game development, but I've never actually dipped my toes into that water because it's such a daunting prospect. I don't know how to get from point A to point B. I just know that I want to. And while I have experience programming and writing code, I don't have enough knowledge or know how to do any of like the art, the music. Obviously, I would need to bring in other people to work on that kind of project. And at that point, I hate to say it, but I'm a little bit greedy in this regard. I'm a little concerned about like just working with other people in the sense that I have a very specific vision of like what kind of games I would like to develop or would like to play. And if I work with other people, that whole vision is going to get skewed. It's kind of like Hakita, who developed Ultra
Right.
Kill, said, it's a good thing you guys aren't developing Ultra Kill because if you did, it would suck. And that's kind of like how I would. Well, no, the guy's a badass, and I freaking love him for it. But he genuinely just doesn't
Yeah.
care. And he honestly, he has a point. The more people that work on a specific project, yes, there's more good ideas and everything. But after a certain point, it becomes a cluster F. Sorry, I have to swear for my
Oh yeah.
children audience
Yeah,
here.
like crazy. And I even think that that's like the biggest problem at Ironhide right now. It's like it can be a strength to have like four different teams doing four different games, but it's like I think
I disagree.
largely the community, or at least I, would would want like it's like can you guys just all unify and make like a really good Kingdom Rush 5 and
Yeah,
6 and interact with us and like do that for a couple years. Just do that for like 2 years. Pump out like
I
one
don't
one or
care.
two games
It
that
could
are
take 5 years.
phenomenal, and then go back to your own projects because like Junk World didn't end up very great. Legends of Kingdom Rush is good but small. Like it needs to
They
be
need to fix
two or
this
three
though.
times that size.
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That the Apple Arcade stuff is frustrating,
It
but
it's
I
in
feel like that's the main thing holding back Legends of Kingdom Rush personally. Obviously it's on Steam,
No, there's
but
no excuse anymore though. It's like you just said, it's on Steam, so they have absolutely no excuse. They updated the game, and when they updated it, people played it. But then they're like, well, it's still not getting enough overall sales. It's getting more attention, but not bringing us in money. So they don't care to update it anymore, which is really disappointing
mhm.
because hell, if they even made a sequel for Legends of Kingdom Rush, I would buy it. I would play it. And also give us the ability to mod it because then the sky's the limit. And dear God, you want to talk about getting attention drawn to your games, you may not officially endorse modding, but if you make it easier for people to do it, more people are going to know about your game and they're going to want to play it. Because it's just,
Right, and the best games of all time,
you know,
a lot of them, like Minecraft is like Mod City. I've never even
oh
played it, but
yeah,
like my friends are all really into it. And it's like, yeah, modding like just reinvigorates interest. It creates so much more content and replayability. Like you're basically just making a new game inside of a game with every mod, and that's why
right.
it's awesome.
And even if you don't have the ability to mod the game, if you at least give people updates or rebalance changes, you know, I mean, and those are like changes and things that literally take next to no time to do. You go into the code, you edit a bunch of numbers and values and cooldowns and damage, etc. It really does not take that long. It's not that much work. And these people are doing
Yeah.
this kind of stuff for a living. So there's no excuse. We all have been making tier lists. We've all been talking about the different towers, the different heroes, which ones we think are weaker, which ones we think are obviously way too overpowered and way too strong. We're not asking Ironhide to literally change everything. We like having certain things that are stronger, weaker, so that there is some sort of a meta and it rewards you for experimenting with other towers and heroes. But like that's just it. As long as the current stats as they are right now stand the way they are, it is very difficult to experiment or feel rewarded for experimenting with different strategies, etc. King Rexy, welcome to the stream. Sup
Hmm.
guys? um but but yeah, as Awesome Kraken says, Ironhide low-key was falling off for a while, and I think that they are on the upswing right now. They've got a little momentum going. They're starting to make a comeback. They're doing well. At least I hope. They're starting to turn things around a little bit, in my personal opinion. Um, I just hope that they can continue it, and that things continue to just improve. So
All right, let's give a quick shout out to King Rexy's mod, Kingdom
yes,
Rush
Kingdom Rush
Vengeance
Reborn.
Reborn, because
Yes,
it's awesome.
it was very
Most of the
fun.
community has only really talked about Revengeance, but that's been out for what, almost 2 years or a year and a half now.
Yeah, and it's been updated multiple
And it's
times.
awesome. That's more just like what Vengeance should have been, like vanilla Vengeance should have been that. Um, if you guys play on Steam, like by all means, get King Rexy's Kingdom Rush Vengeance Reborn up and running because it's awesome. It plays so much differently than Kingdom Rush Revengeance, and from the vanilla game, obviously, it's awesome. Like, I mean, one of my favorite towers, which is so like unexpected, is literally the freaking Orc Warrior Den because it's so much different. It's like an aggro tower now, and it has more units, and they can just shred people, but they're a bit more fragile. So like I don't know, those kind of ideas and like all the details that he put into it, you guys definitely need to check out. We need like some freaking YouTubers to be putting out that content more. I'd be doing it if I had a bit more time to play, and I was pretty obsessed with it for a couple weeks and then life happened. But yeah,
Right.
definitely check out um King Rexy's Kingdom Rush Vengeance mod because it's awesome.
Yeah, it is. No, I had a lot of fun playing it. I think it was just overall fun, and I really just I think that for the most part, The modding community for this game has done so much to spice up these games when they had absolutely no right or no place, still being relevant, which I know kind of sounds sad, but that's how it stands right now. And
Hmm.
I think that as people continue to mod these games and push the hypothetical limits of what's possible, I mean, you see what, not to be racist here, but the Chinese modders are doing. I mean, those guys are just going off the walls with everything that they
I
can
think
do.
saying that they're doing an amazing job is not racist. I think
Yeah,
that there's a different word for that. It's called a compliment.
yeah. Well, it's overall, it's just it's an understatement because of how much they've done. They've literally added new custom levels. They've added in, like just so much stuff. They've reworked towers in ways I didn't even think were possible. It's like, what the hell?
I don't even know how I don't know how they do it.
I don't know either.
Like
I'm
it's
just
just
sitting here and I'm like,
it's insane.
they're just, you know,
I,
okay.
I've only seen a little bit of it because you're referring to Kingdom Rush Vengeance or Zeta, the Zeta
Yeah,
mod
the
or whatever
Zeta
it's called.
mod. Oh my god, I loved that
Yeah,
thing.
I've I'm subscribed to the YouTuber that puts out stuff, but he doesn't put out a ton of videos on it. But like them completely
Right.
making new levels and everything is crazy. I mean, it's just nuts. Some of the levels I was trying them maybe a month or two ago. Um like I just I couldn't beat the Iron Heroic. I couldn't
Oh
beat it the
yeah.
main way. Like I could beat it with like maybe to get like 1 star by having like 3 hearts at the end of it. Like it was just preposterous. Yeah. The stuff that they do is insane. I love it.
Yeah.
I need to play that more too.
Yes, it's a very good mod. I think it's very challenging, but like fair overall. Like I I
Yeah. How
didn't
much have you played it? I've
I
only
played
played it
through
for
the
a
whole
grand
thing.
total of like one or
I played
2 hours probably. Oh, really?
Yeah, I got all the way to like the
You
post
did
main
some of that
campaign
live or
stages.
all of it live?
I did all of it live. Oh no, actually you're right. I did do like the whole main campaign I did on like regular videos, and then the post main campaigns I did as live streams, and they were insanely difficult. They were fun, but they were so difficult. Like
Yeah.
almost to a point of like not maybe being completely fair or balanced, but just fun nonetheless. And I don't know. It was just it was a good time overall. A little frustrating at points, but definitely just just fun. Which and that's honestly that is the goal, is it not? When you play a video game, what's the one thing you want to do? You want to have fun. Speaking of which, I'm not having fun here. I'm about to leak my own freaking units. These erudites are the worst. Wait, maybe clutch? I don't know. Never mind. Yeah, and see like little steam moments here where like there's enemies that are just about to go off screen. They should still in theory be able to be damaged, but nope. They're just invulnerable once they reach a certain node point, which I guess from a code perspective does kind of make sense, but like I mean, it is what it is. It's whatever. I've fallen off in terms of Kingdom Hearts skill. I'm getting sloppy as I get older and not as wise. The wise Frouge. Rip it like a fat Frouge. But yeah, it's still fun. I just like it. Oh, King Rexy's saying I'm
Well,
about to start streaming himself. I think he's going to be playing some more of that Oriental Dynasty game that I've been enjoying quite a bit myself. So
oh, it looks awesome. I need to try it.
you should. It's a really fun game.
How
But
much is it? Or is it free?
it was on sale when I got it. It's like literally less than $5. So even if like it's not on sale, it's still gonna be like dirt cheap. I would just get it if I were you,
Yeah.
which I'm not. So get the freaking game. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
All
But
right. Well, should we wrap it up? I think
yeah,
we pretty much talked about everything that we think for the new
I
update.
think so. If you guys haven't already
And
heard the
we're
news,
just in the realm of
yeah,
Tangentville right now.
yes, Tangentville galore. So guys, in short, if you have the means to, please, please, please try out the DLC. I really hope that you guys enjoy it. I will certainly be trying it myself tomorrow as soon as it is available in my time zone. And I don't know what point I'll be live streaming it. Just hopefully as soon as I'm able to. Hopefully I will see you guys all there. Obviously, a lot of people are hyped for this. We had a couple hundred people watching throughout the duration of this live stream. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you guys for listening to us ramble, us two nerds. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the DLC as much as we will tomorrow. So yeah, Trevor, as always, it's a pleasure having you on the channel. Thank you for giving us your time and attention. So
You're welcome. That was fun.
Yep.
Fun being a nerd.
Fun, always fun being a nerd. And hopefully, ladies and gents, I will see you guys all in the next YouTube video or live stream. This is Pollux the Wise and Trevor from The Real Morgan saying peace out.
Bye.